Keynote speaker at the St. Kitts and Nevis 2023 Independence Lecture Series, software engineer Psyche Southwell advised in her address 4 fundamental concepts that should be adopted individually and as a nation. She recommended that 1. We should let our size be our strength. 2. Fashion new identities. 3. Embrace high-tech problem solving. And 4. Look back and move forward. Her presentation comes as the nation celebrates its 40th anniversary of independence under the theme Growing Sustainably, Developing Maturely, Building Resilience, Independence 40. Considering the many challenges the country has faced and approaches now available to resolve issues, Southwell cautioned against adopting external wholesale solutions for unique problems that we face, and also to engage high-tech solutions in our problem solving.
It was through my membership, right, with Amartya Sen's Capability Society that I finally found and embraced an understanding of poverty that connected the dots for me. It connected the dots for me because it made sense in the world that reared me. It made sense in the world that reared me. And one of the things I left and take with me in every field, you hear me do a lot of things, everything that I do is how we understand the problems. And hear this, the way that we define problems directly shape the solutions that we put forward. And I'm gonna say that again. The way that we define problems directly shape the solutions that we advance. And I'm gonna say this, policies and programs often fail, and they don't fail because they are not good ideas. They don't fail because they're not well-intentioned. They fail because they don't actually match or address the problem at hand. And if we continue, my friends, to define poverty solely as a lack of income or a lowness of resources, every policy will fail. Every anti-poverty program will fail to eradicate poverty if we're only looking at resources. We small, but we taller. We in the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis have the ability to explore the unique circumstances and vulnerabilities of the Kittitian and Nevisian experience, and hence advance policies that actually take that experience into consideration. I always keep my finger on the pulse of what's happening here in our federation. And I have one caution to make, one caution, and is that we ought to be cautious when considering the mandates and directives of external institutions whose one-size-fits-all policies don't address our uniqueness. So how can they address our problems?
Ms. Southwell answered questions from the audience that included students and other young people from various academic, social, and work backgrounds. The event was also graced with the presence of Dame Marcella Liburd, Governor General of St. Kitts and Nevis. Glenn Bart reporting for SK Newsline. In a statement issued by the Minister of Health, Prime Minister Dr. Terence Drew, the call was made to accelerate the implementation of universal health coverage globally to ensure access for critical health care for everyone. Dr. Drew was speaking ahead of the 14th to 21st September Global Week of Action on Non-Communicable Diseases, or NCDs, under the theme Bridging the Gap. NCDs include diabetes, hypertension, heart disease, strokes, cancer, and chronic respiratory diseases. According to the Minister of Health, NCDs are the leading causes of morbidity in the Federation. He said between 2017 and 2021, NCDs accounted for 84.2% of the deaths reported, making NCDs the country's biggest health challenge.
Our government recognizes that the time to act on NCDs and universal health coverage is now. I believe that health care must be accessible to all. Everyone in the Federation should have access to health services when and where they need them without financial hardship. Universal health care coverage is one of our priorities. To this end, our government, in collaboration with the Pan American Health Organization PAHO and experts from the University of the West Indies St. Augustine campus, is in the process of establishing a national health insurance scheme, whereby a package of essential health services, including NCD management and care, will be made accessible to everyone in the Federation. The implementation of NHI scheme will be just one intervention to combat the NCD challenge. The Ministry of Health's response to the NCD challenge is comprehensive and has a three-pronged approach. The aim is to 1. Reduce the burden of NCDs by promoting healthy lifestyles. 2. Reduce the prevalence of common NCD risk factors. And 3. Provide integrated evidence-based treatment options.
The Minister of Health said resources are invested into the ministry's NCD's response. He indicated that much has been achieved, but there is much work to be done. Glenn Bart reporting for SK Newsline.
St. Kitts Nevis shoppers, now you can order from China and have your items delivered to you here in St. Kitts Nevis. Introducing Channel Links, a shipping and logistics company from St. Martin that is making your ordering from China dreams come through. Channel Links imports top goods and items for vehicles, accessories, consumer electronics, cosmetics, furniture, toys, house supplies, and much more. Ship your items to a Chinese address, and Channel Links will take care of the rest to ship your products to St. Kitts. If you wish to get your items much faster, Channel Links also offers air freight services. So shop on Alibaba, AliExpress, and other Asian shopping sites. Get low affordable prices and get your items shipped to you. Call or WhatsApp Channel Links in St. Martin at 1-721-554-4802, 580-0171, 580-0065, or 580-4834. Or you can email them at contact_us@channel-links.com. Channel Links, your shipping solution.
It's beautiful. He took one look at you and the angels started singing.
Another wonderful day.
What would you say about staying here for a few months or like a year, just so that we can be together again and just live and love and laugh and have fun and breathe?
Why are you hiding out on a little Caribbean island, singing in a beach bar?
When I came here, I was at peace, and I never left.
This is the beating heart of Nevis. This is what grounds me, what feeds my soul. It's where I found myself.
I hope your life here will be full of joy. Love this island, my son. She will give you more than you can imagine.
In a proactive effort to enhance disaster preparedness and communication capabilities, Telecommunications provider Digicel has donated 3 satellite phones to the Prime Minister's office. The handover ceremony took place on September 13th at the Prime Minister's office, where representatives from Digicel presented the satellite phones to Prime Minister Dr. Terence Drew. The satellite phones donated by Digicel, according to a press release from the government, are equipped with technology that offers robust connectivity in even the most challenging conditions. They are user-friendly and designed for quick deployment, making them an ideal asset for emergency situations. Prime Minister Drew expressed appreciation for Digicel's donation. He said, "I would like to extend our sincere thanks to Digicel for their generous contribution. These satellite phones will significantly enhance our ability to respond effectively to emergencies and serve our citizens in time of need. We value the partnership we have with Digicel and look forward to continued collaboration for the betterment of our nation." I'm Andre Huey for SKN Newsline. The General Post Office is preparing to unveil a series of commemorative stamp designs to observe St. Kitts and Nevis' 40th Independence Anniversary celebration. Co-chair of the Independence 40 Planning Committee, Dr. Marcus Natta, explains.
40th anniversary gives persons an opportunity to show their artistic skills, and again, something that they can win and can have bragging rights for. And again, it would live on for perpetuity. So this particular one is critically important again for the postal services. There are persons who are avid stamp collectors. I forget the name for persons who collect stamps, but they're avid stamp collectors and persons who would look forward to putting something like this into their collection. And just a bit of maybe slightly breaking news as well. We are looking at doing stamps as well to recognize and celebrate the relationships, diplomatic ties we've had with countries since in and around our independence, right? We're celebrating 40 years of diplomatic relations with Canada, the United Kingdom, the United States of America, Korea, the Bolivarian Republic of Venezuela, the Republic of China and Taiwan, as well as the Republic of Korea, commonly called South Korea.
The digital design of the stamps is expected to be introduced this month, while the physical copies will be available in the near future. Andre Huey, SKN Newsline.
St. Kitts Nevis shoppers, now you can order from China and have your items delivered to you here in St. Kitts Nevis. Introducing Channel Links, a shipping and logistics company from St. Martin that is making your ordering from China dreams come through. Channel Links imports top goods and items for vehicles, accessories, consumer electronics, cosmetics, furniture, toys, house supplies, and much more. Ship your items to a Chinese address, and Channel Links will take care of the rest to ship your products to St. Kitts. If you wish to get your items much faster, Channel Links also offers air freight services. So shop on Alibaba, AliExpress, and other Asian shopping sites. Get low affordable prices and get your items shipped to you. Call or WhatsApp Channel Links in St. Martin at 1-721-554-4802, 580-0171, 580-0065, or 580-4834. Or you can email them at contact_us@channel-links.com. Channel Links, your shipping solution.
It's beautiful.
He took one look at you and the angels started singing.
Another wonderful day.
What would you say about staying here for a few months or like a year, just so that we can be together again and just live and love and laugh and have fun and breathe?
Why are you hiding out on a little Caribbean island, singing in a beach bar?
When I came here, I was at peace, and I never left.
This is the beating heart of Nevis. This is what grounds me, what feeds my soul. It's where I found myself.
I hope your life here will be full of joy. Love this island, my son. She will give you more than you can imagine.
The hotter than usual days in Barbados are not only impacting people, the animals are feeling the heat too, and farmers know this only too well. Owner of Sunset Dairy Farms, McDonald Stevenson, has been explaining the impact on his cows.
The heat has been really stressful on the animals in the last couple of months. Because we be getting temperatures of like 90, 91 degrees. A cow can tolerate 78, 80 degrees. From the time you go beyond that, the cow becomes stressed. So what happens then, the cow eats less, and now it's using the energy from the body. Instead of producing milk, they're trying to cool down themselves. So you suffer on milk production. In terms of your fertility, breeding and so, they don't breed back that well. And then the immunity drops. So any little sickness, it would take a higher toll on them. So it's more likely than ever that on those conditions, your animal might die.
If you could give a percentage in terms of your losses these last couple of months as a result of these weather conditions.
The production drop is like 15%. So you're seeing lower levels of production.
How does that translate in terms of dollars and cents?
It goes into the thousands of dollars. It is a significant drop, so it's a significant impact on your business, and that you still have to buy feed, pay for water, electricity, and so based on all that. So it's a significant impact.
Mr. Stevenson is also advising farmers not to leave their animals exposed in the sun, given the extreme weather conditions. Crystal Hoyt, CBC News.
According to the Ministry of Education, 2,615 candidates were registered to write the May-June 2023 CXC-CSEC examinations, 1,645 females and 970 males. With subject entries in 33 subject areas, 2,466 candidates were enrolled in secondary schools and 149 were private candidates. The largest subject areas were in mathematics, 1,694, English A, 1,619, principles of business, 747, social studies, 719, and information and technology, 585, while the lowest entries were in industrial technology, mechanical, 2, music, 6, theater arts, 36, religious education, 46, and additional mathematics, 60. An overall percentage pass rate of 78.41% was recorded, outlining an increase of 2.11 compared with 76.3 in 2022, and an increase of 6.71% compared with 71.7 in 2021. The subject with the highest percentage pass were theater arts, 100, physical education and sports, 98.71%, agricultural science, 94.96%, food, nutrition and health, 94.68%, industrial technology, electrical, 94.01%, information technology, 93.58%, office administration, 92.90%, technical drawing 92.52%, family and resource management 91.08%, and electronic document preparation and management 90.27%, while the lowest percentage pass were in mathematics 38.89%, French 43.39%, Spanish 44.44%, geography 95.57%, and additional mathematics 65.22%. In the areas of mathematics and English A, performance pass rate increased by 5.45% from 33.44% to 38.89%, and 12.14% from 69.57% in 2022 to 81.78% in 2023, respectively. A more extensive report from the Ministry of Education on the May-June 2023 CXC-CSEC examination is expected at a later date. For GBN News, I am Rinapa Thomas reporting.
Helicopters pick bodies from the sea. Testimony to the power of the wave of water that hit the city. Others were simply swallowed by landslides. The grim task of recovering the bodies continues. Search and recovery teams are working together with specialized sniffer dog units. The water was like a tsunami, cutting through the city, wiping out more than just buildings.
The whole family lived next to each other. We were all neighbors. We lost 30 people so far. That's 30 members of the same family.
Many still unable to comprehend what they lived through.
At 3:30 in the morning, the hurricane intensified and there was wind. I live on the top floor of this building. I opened the window and saw the storm attacking us.
Mass graves have been dug and are now being filled with bodies, helping the injured just as urgent a task.
We are still looking for victims. We call on all young Libyans, anyone who has a degree or any medical affiliation, to please come help us. We have a shortage in nurses. We need help.
Medical facilities are overwhelmed. Many are damaged. In the nearby city of El Beida, doctors and nurses wade through ankle-high water in the local hospital, many of the patients having to be evacuated. The stream of aid and emergency rescue workers from around the world is growing. From Qatar, Egypt, Turkey, Algeria, the European Union, and even Palestine, specialized teams have come to help a nation politically divided, united in grief. Mike Leppel, Al Jazeera.
Well, you recall Libya plunged into violence in 2011 after its longtime leader, Muammar Gaddafi, was toppled and killed. Since then, it's been ruled by two rival administrations. In the West, there's the UN-recognized government, led by Prime Minister Abdulhamid Dbeibeh in Tripoli. It controls the areas there in blue. The eastern-based parliament is backed by the Libyan warlord, General Khalifa Haftar. The areas there in red are under his control. Now, despite international pressure, the rival parliaments have failed to unify for years. Elections were scheduled for December 2021, but never happened due to differences over candidates, among other sticking points. Meanwhile, cargo planes now filled with humanitarian aid and rescue teams are arriving in Libya. Charles Stratford travelled to Benghazi on a Qatari aid flight that's now dropped off much-needed aid and medical supplies.
What you can see being unloaded here is a field hospital, part of Qatar's contribution to this seemingly growing international aid effort to Libya. This is one of three Qatari military C-17 cargo planes expected to arrive in Benghazi today. The Libyan security forces that I've spoken to in the last few minutes say there have been a number of planes that have arrived here already in the last 24 hours, planes from Turkey, planes from Algeria, planes from Tunisia. The aid also includes medical equipment, medicine, food, tents. We know that Benghazi, although affected, has not been as devastated as that town of Derna, which is around 350 kilometres from here. So all the equipment, all the aid that you can see being delivered here is going to be taken to Derna as quickly as possible, because we know that there are thousands of people still missing and thousands more who have lost their homes and their businesses. We've seen those pictures, those horrific pictures, that scar that runs right the way through Derna where that wall of water crashed through and destroyed all those buildings. So yeah, it's vital that no time is wasted and that this aid gets to the areas where it's most needed. Charles Strafford, Al Jazeera, Benghazi.
I want to bring in now New York Times senior political correspondent and CNN political analyst Maggie Haberman. Obviously, this is by no means a surprise to anyone. This is the path that we've seen McCarthy take. I mean, maybe the way he took it there wasn't exactly what he said. I mean, this is something that Donald Trump has been talking about since July.
So he's getting millions of dollars illegally from China. And then you say, hey, they impeached me over a phone call that was perfect. Why aren't they impeaching Biden for receiving tens of millions of dollars? Why isn't he under impeachment?
Obviously, no evidence about the millions of dollars from China, but is it clear that Trump is a major driving force in this to you?
He is certainly somebody who supports it, is behind it, has been talking about it, as you see in those clips, has been talking about it behind the scenes. How aggressively he is pushing for it with McCarthy directly, I think, is an open question. But there's no doubt that Trump, and this is his style, he sort of drops something into the conversation and Republicans take it up, and it's often offered as some kind of a suggestion. It's not a surprise that it went this route. I do think it's true, though, that McCarthy's about face was striking in terms of requiring a vote to move ahead.
Why do you think so?
Because I think that it speaks to the fact that his members are getting very restless, and he sees a real concern for himself from his right flank, and he is very good at reading the room in that way, and he sees where danger is coming from, and he acted. Now, I don't think that anyone else has enough votes to win the speakership right now against him, but I do think it speaks to what everybody thought was going to happen when he became speaker, which is that he is going to be sort of beholden to a certain group of right-wing Congress members.
Yeah, and for some of them, an inquiry is not even enough. They want to move full steam ahead with a full impeachment of President Biden.
Well, and it's important to note, Caitlin, that, look, to Congressman Goldman's point, we don't know, there's no evidence so far that ties Joe Biden to any of this, at least nothing that they have brought forward and that we have seen. Now, you know, they're suggesting that could change if they move ahead. Something else that could change if they move ahead is this could benefit President Biden. This could end up having ramifications for Republicans if voters who don't really want to see these kinds of inquiries all the time feel like this is going too far. And I think what you heard from the congressman just now, what he was talking about real work that has to get done, that's what you're going to hear Democrats talk about over and over and over again.
Yeah, and what does an impeachment inquiry even look like if the government is shut down is another question. McCarthy went out of his way today to say this is only an impeachment inquiry. Obviously, that's likely to make moderate Republicans feel better about this who are in districts that President Biden won. But you know President Trump as well as I do, former President Trump, an impeachment inquiry is not going to be sufficient to a former president who was impeached twice, is it?
I don't think so, although it's important to remember that he's also been very focused on getting his own impeachment record expunged. That's been something he's been talking about a lot, too. We will see which one is more important to him, but I do think, to your point, as we have seen former President Trump face more pressure from these criminal inquiries, he has ratcheted up the talk about impeaching Biden, and it will be surprising if he feels content stopping at we're just asking questions.
Yeah, it seems to be a hope that it would muddy the waters here.
Right.
We have seen some moderate Republicans say they're kind of fine with this. They're surprisingly on board, a few of the moderates here in New York. Senate Republicans, though, have been either outright dismissive or deeply skeptical of this. Senator McConnell, I mean, how do Senate Republicans handle this, do you expect?
I think it's a great question, and I think we're going to see in the coming days, but you are correct that a lot of them have expressed skepticism about these efforts so far, not just on impeachment generally, but on where this is all heading in terms of the evidence. Now, could something happen that changes that? Absolutely, but we'll see.
Yeah. Maggie Haberman, a lot of interesting times
a lot of stuff.
ahead. Thank you very much.
Village Superstars had an indifferent start to the playoffs. In their first 2 matches, they earned draws against Old Road and Newtown despite strong performances, but they soon found their gear with a big win against Cairn Rockets and a hard-earned draw against St. Paul's United. Still, a tough test lies ahead against Connery FC on Thursday, who are also unbeaten so far in the playoffs, making this matchup exciting. Coach Stephen Clark, however, is quite clear as to what Village will be doing come Thursday.
It ain't much of a challenge, honestly. You just come down to one game, you win the game and you end, that's it. Once we win the game against Connery, we in the finals. So that's all we need to do, just come down to one game, win and you end.
Super 6 playoffs debutant MSCR Old Road United Jets have represented themselves well so far in the competition from a footballing perspective. With just 1 loss, 2 draws and a win, Old Road, like all the other clubs, only has 1 match remaining and a mathematical chance of advancing to the final 2. Old Road didn't just come to the playoffs to tick a box for the season. They came to compete, as outlined by their coach Alexis Morris.
I must also tip my hat to my fellas. We would have been working quite hard over a year now because we would have started our pre-season training since August last year, and this is another August, and so it's been quite a while that these guys have been laboring, and tonight we have exuberated that. And
however, in their last match, 2 of their players received red cards, the most notably of them, star striker Tiquani Williams. Old Road will have to find a way to get a result in their match against Newtown without him and hope the other matches work in their favor. They next play Newtown United on Thursday, September 14th at 6:30 p.m. at the Warner Park.